Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Let's get to it. It's popping.
I always wondered, if God came back to earth, what would he be? I'd like to think a cook. Because there seems to be this universal power behind a good meal that can heal beyond medicine and magical fairies. There's a satisfying sensation that penetrates our souls after eating. It lingers in the air over sleepy eyes, full stomachs, and unbuttoned pants. Having us proclaim these daily resolutions like, I promise I will never eat like that again, but we always do. And studies show that food, it makes people happy. As a matter of fact, top psychologists Ben and Jerry have been using this remedy for years to help pave rocky roads and fill cracks with chocolate chips and bananas after love splits, and I swear, God knew what he was doing when he turned the love of meals into arson. Making it a comical irony that the one thing that can mend a broken woman's heart is the same thing that will put you in the right direction of a man's. Food can make a good day turn bad. Because there's nothing worse than knowing what you want to eat when you're hungry, getting it, and it's not cooked right. Food is strong enough to break a stubborn man's pride, and is the one string that can keep a broken family tied, because Grandma always knew what everyone's favorite dish was. And she would use it to lure us to these family dinners that we didn't want to go to, but you wouldn't think of telling her no, because she knows exactly what to say to get you to go anyways, and nothing shows more American pride than high fives over hot dogs at the game after the national anthem has played. So I think it's safe to say, I'm sure, that for one moment, if God came back to earth in human form, this time he'd be wearing an apron, standing in someone's kitchen, concocting something delicious, mixing ingredients like a chemist with a spatula in his right hand and a stopwatch in his left, because he knows that every 5 seconds, death sneaks upon another hungry child somewhere in this world. So he fights the time that we ignore with the same conviction we use to avoid these problems, praying that our will to change the world will one day be as strong as our want to change the channel when we see those commercials, or roll up windows at corners, pretending that the most important text message of our life came through at the exact moment they put that sign within our sight. He frantically hurries, mixing and stirring, knowing that if he leaves it up to us, we will do nothing but put it back on him, saying if God wanted to save the starving children in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, Haiti, Jamaica, Somalia, or even America, he would have sent an intervention. But he's just waiting, patiently praying for the intervention he already sent, to realize that we are the intervention to our brothers' cries. And now time ticks as our brothers cry, dehydrated tears of dust in the wind, forming sand dunes as tall as our landfills that we cover with grass and turn into parks to help us forget how much we waste. Taste their pain in every bite you take after you walk away from the full refrigerator, but complain there is nothing to eat. Feel their bodies shake underneath their feet as Mother Nature speaks through babies for natural disasters. The only way to get us to pay attention to problems that have been going on a lot longer than we would like to know. Hear the sorrow over the sound of shattered silence from exploding missiles that we use in the wars we fight, that cost more to have in 2 days than it would be to end world hunger for 10 years. God fears what he has created, so he is creating something in the kitchen, praying and mixing like the elder women of our families that use food as remedies to heal the babies we have forgotten, lost in the bottom of our to-do list under volunteer work and anything else to help the less fortunate. How fortunate are we? But instead of being thankful, we stack prayer requests for winning lottery tickets like they do the dead bodies of their children in the villages. The privilege we have to be able to help ourselves is something that they can only dream of. The American dream of prosperity sits sour upon their cracked tongues and dry lips just to think that 35 cents a day is too much for us to spare. We can't spare our bites to help them. So I think that this time, if God came back to earth, he would come back with angels, wearing chef hats and aprons, forming lunch lines that circle around the world, cradling the neglected and hurt, screaming at the top of his lungs, grab a plate and a fork. Your prayers have been heard. Dinner is served.